This is A Drink with the Hurricane, the talk show discussing all things growing your home care business.
And so I didn't make this up, but I am going to share with you, a client of mine did this. So springtime, summertime, here's what he did. So he started out, all of his key players in his top accounts, he showed up and visited each one of them with a bag of dirt. Okay?
Listen to this.
Right? A bag of dirt for each person. No explanation. You're just going to have to wait and see. The next week he shows up with a little pot. Gives the pot to everyone. The third week he comes back, I've got seeds. Right? And so he hands out the seeds. And then on the fourth week when he comes back, here's instructions on how to grow your own little flower garden. I was like, that is genius, because it is fun, it is interesting, it is lighthearted, it is an opportunity for you to have a touch point. And no, I didn't ask for anything, but hey, you know what? If I've seen you 4 weeks in a row and you're doing something for me without asking for something in return, chances are they're going to be like, you know what? I've got something for you. So that's just one example.
I love it. You know, before you go, Brian, you remember Lenny from Executive Care. So when I first started doing coaching way back in 2012, 2013, I had a client who did exactly the same thing. And what he did was he went out and bought a whole bunch of small beta fish bowls. So he came in 1 week and brought a fishbowl with the company's logo on it. A week later with the little rocks. A week later for a little house for the home care, right? And then a week later he brought a beta in some water. He brought food, then he brought a week later the beta in the water, and every couple of months he'd come back with the food for the beta, and he'd be checking on the fish for every single person he gave the fish to, and everybody loved it, and it gave him value to come, and he established a relationship. You got to go to an account 8 to 10 times before you start getting referrals. This gives you a reason to go there every single week consecutively. Go ahead, Brian.
So as a business owner, we all want to see our marketers have full calendars, lots of appointments. But the reality is you're not going to have full appointments every day. You have a certain percentage of time that you want to see people. How do you do that? Okay? You're going to need to do the stop-bys, the drop-ins, having promotional materials, items, coffee mugs, things that, again, can be fun, that have your name on it. You don't always have to ask for a referral. You might not be able to see that person. But at the very least, if you can stop by and drop off that coffee mug or something fun, that helps keep your name in front of everybody. So this way, that referral source, they come back to their office. They might not always remember you. There's 100 other home care marketers that are coming in. But if they see your materials, fun things, that they can remember who you are, your name, more likely they'll give your name out. That's partly what's going to help you close some sales.
So I love it. For those of you who are clients, advanced training, lesson 6, I have a whole list of things to do on daily drop-bys, and I actually call it the tchotchke of the month. And Brian, I always had a tchotchke of the month. In the summer, I had like a water gun. I had the sun visors that cover the car from the heat, from the sun coming in. We gave out umbrellas. In the wintertime, isotoner socks were very popular. Ice scrapers. I used to give out ice scrapers in October, so it was early in the season. And then what was really cool about the ice scrapers, this is one I'll talk about for a second, where every time it snowed, they would go to use my ice scraper. They're thinking of me because they're holding the Care Choice ice scraper. So I helped them get to work that day. I also remember, and Liz Sharon, who was one of our biggest referral sourcing social workers, she actually, in a video that I have that I do at another event, she on record said that she remembered when I gave it out. We ordered the ice scrapers early in September. They were in the office ready for me to give out. And then all of a sudden, randomly, we had a fluke snowstorm that dropped like 8 inches of snow in October. That doesn't happen normally in New Jersey. Other parts of the country it does, but that doesn't happen in New Jersey. So since it was snowing that day, I had the ice scrapers. I went everywhere and just gave it out. And she said from her perspective, I wasn't even there. I wasn't even there, right? I wasn't even there yet because she was out and about in the facility doing something. But I came in, I knew it was snowing out, I just left the ice scraper on her desk and left. And when she came back to her office, she saw the ice scraper and she's like, man, I was wondering what I'm gonna do to clean my car off to go home. Steve thinks of everything. and then she gave me a referral for a 24-hour case. Like, it's amazing how this stuff happens. Brian, the next question, I'm just going to ask you this question real quick. A marketing budget? What do you recommend for a monthly marketing budget? Because that's a question that's in here.
Well, first of all, you need to understand your finances, okay? It's easy to spend money on all kinds of things, whether it's for people, whether it's for materials. You need to take a look and say, where am I at right now? What can I afford? It's not just take a guess and say, I'm going to spend whatever I'm going to spend. You need to understand how much you're actually bringing in, and then you can make an educated decision to say, I'm going to spend this much per month. So everybody has a different tolerance in terms of how much money they're willing to spend. So there's no easy answer, but you need to make sure you have some level of a budget. I'd much rather put that money in towards marketing, promotional items, than to put out an ad in the paper that people might take a look at. How much are you really going to get off of that? So you need to establish some level of spending that's reasonable, that you can afford, and spend it wisely.
I love it. I'll add to it, and then we'll go to our next question, which will be about working with directors of nursing, all right? So just start thinking caps, coaches. I also recommend, SBA recommends you spend 7 to 8% of total revenue on all things sales and marketing. That's high, all right? I'm going to say 5%. All things sales and marketing. That includes your website, that includes your SEO, that includes your Google AdWords, that includes all of your digital online presence. You have to have that, all right? The most successful people have the 1-2 punch. Online presence with the direct referral marketing. That 1-2 punch, that's going to grow your business to master level. What's master level? 5 million and above, right? That's going to help you to do that. You should dedicate 1% out of that not 1% of the 5%, 1% of total revenue for your direct referral marketing. So the tchotchkes, the lunch and learns that I talked about earlier, all of the cups of coffee to vet people, power partners, that should come out of 1%. So if I'm going for $2 million, 1% of $2 million is $20,000 for the year. That's like $1,600 a month, right? So you have to start adding it up, but that's going to help you to do it.